Tonight's the night, everybody, because we have episode 7 of Dexter Resurrection, Course Correction. Let's get straight into breaking this down. We pick up where we left off, and Dexter has been taken to a castle by Prater to mourn Mia's death, and Dexter wonders whether or not she killed herself or if she was taken out, obviously considering Charlie as a suspect because he noticed her staring at him. Back with Harrison, and despite last episode, it seems he's still considering school. Dexter is asked to show and tell after Al, and we see the ponytail killer's show and tell as he pretends to fall off a bicycle and lures in a woman to help him before strangling her to death and cutting off her ponytail. A lot of people said they didn't buy Erik Stonestreet as a serial killer, but the way they shot this kill with GoPro and POV shot kind of works. It sells a lot more of the horror. Dexter finally knows all these people are guilty and need to go, but before he can kill them, he has to convince them that he kills others by sawing their heads off. We see Dexter practicing in the mirror what he's going to say, and he has an argument with Harry about how he's a monster too, and Harry should stop pretending he isn't. And they go back to season 2, that episode where Dexter realizes he's the one who made Harry kill himself because Harry couldn't stand with what he created. Dexter goes for show and tell and speaks about himself in a really candid speech by Michael C. Hall, and it's amazing, and it's only topped off even better at the end with Prater's little eye twitch as he realizes the type of people he's cultivating for these events. Batista and Claudette discuss the likeliness of their theories. Right after that amazing show and tell scene, we get a scene where Prater and Dexter have a talk about honesty, and we learn that Prater befriended the man who killed his parents, and that's how his serial killer obsession began. And we also get a bunch of flashbacks from the original series. When Dexter thinks about his trauma, we see Ritter's death and being trapped in the storage container and killing Hector Estrada in the season 7 finale. Surprise, motherfucker. Another masterfully done scene, and the way they handle the callbacks and fan service works really well. It doesn't feel like it's too blatant just to, nostalgia bait. Angel turns up to Dexter's apartment and asks Blessing about him, but Blessing has nothing bad to say about Dexter, and it's so nice and refreshing to see a character who so clearly appreciates Dexter for the mask he puts on, and it's going to kill me when Blessing inevitably dies. Dexter decides to be honest to Gareth about killing his twin, and only after talking about his brother Brian, which we get to see again, which was so cool. And a lot of people were probably thinking, okay, well, that's the Brian, flashback that they said they were going to do, but it's not. Both these scenes we see aren't him in the classic red overjumper with the white vest, but we know Christian Camargo will be wearing that outfit because of the TikTok he posted. I can't wait to get on the road again. So we still have Brian at some point in the next 3 episodes, which I can't wait for. Anyway, when Gareth finds out Dexter killed his own twin, he goes mental, but Dexter manages to overpower him, killing him, and pinning Lowell's death on him. As he says, 3 birds in 1 stone. Another amazing scene. They really are just stacking these back to back this episode. Dexter fails to show up at Harrison's college event, but it's okay because he meets this girl named Gigi, who seems to match his energy, and is one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen on TV, just putting that out there. Dexter finally turns up to the class Harrison is in on, which happens to be about the New York Ripper, taught by Claudette Wallace, who upon seeing Dexter and Harrison is amazed. The man Batista's been saying is out killing and is an infamous serial killer is in her view, and it is a tension-filled, amazing scene. And in this scene, we also get to hear the New York Ripper's voice. And before I say who I think this is and who I think they just revealed it is, I want to say that if you want to know all my thoughts on who it could be, before obviously I confirm who I now think it is, I made a video a few days ago about who it could be. It's on the channel. You should go and take a look if you want. But putting that out there, I just want to say that motherfucker sounds like Leon Prater. I think Leon Prater is the New York Ripper. The two Morgans have a conversation with Wallace, and Dexter tries his best to make Batista look insane, like he went off the rails after Dokes was outed as the Bay Harbor Butcher and Maria died, so that he can seem innocent to her. But I think he kind of ruined what could have worked by getting a bit gloatful and using his pre-existing knowledge about the New York Ripper and his pre-existing blood spatter knowledge to disprove her crowbar theory on the Ripper. We get a nice scene where Dexter and Harrison are in the car, when Dexter speculates that Batista will butt his head a few more times before fucking off back to Miami. He goes home and uses some blood he kept discreetly from the second Gareth and puts it on the same slide as the first one for our first ever slide with 2 drops of blood. And I love it because this is for two killers who are both Gemini. And I saw someone speculate last week that this would happen, and I'm so glad they went this direction because it's such a cool idea, and I hope we get to see Dexter mess around with the blood slides more in the rest of the seasons. After all, he is evolving in that aspect, and we've already seen him mess around with the trophies in this season beforehand with Lowell's bigger messed up slide when he first starts collecting them again. While doing this, he hears Batista upstairs in Blessing's apartment and dashes up, and we get this amazing scene where Batista calls back to Doak's surprise motherfucker quote with surprise Hermano, and I love that. And then he outright says that he thought he'd catch Dexter in New York. Obviously, to Blessing, that's just an, oh, I thought I'd see you here. But between these two, it's coming out as an, I'm coming to get your ass. And then he digs at Dexter again and says that Dexter always manages to win people over. Digging again, saying that he's evaded him multiple times through manipulation subtly. They are at each other's throats now, and I thought I would hate this, but honestly, I am loving it. And I'm sorry to keep saying these scenes are amazing, but I really have no other words. These episodes are spectacular, man. And after that scene, we get another confrontation between these two in the car as Dexter drives Batista home. But this one feels a lot less tension-filled and more terrifying as Batista gets real about how he won't let Dexter get away with letting Dokes die, letting Maria die, and basically killing Deb by unplugging her. And Dexter drops his mask and says if Batista really is who he thinks he is, that being the Bay Harbor Butcher, then it's about to get real dangerous for him, essentially threatening Batista. And I know people have said they think Harrison will be the one to get rid of him, but I'm thinking it's going to be Dexter. I mean, just stick with me here. It will be a more impactful scene if Dexter is the one forced to kill his longtime friend, and it lines up with the code, and as much as people say it doesn't, but it does. Because rule number one is don't get caught, and right now Batista is the closest person to catching Dexter. And we end the episode on Batista having planted some AirPods in Dexter's car so he can track Dexter's movement. But that is the end of episode 7. It is a brilliant, spectacular banger. Scene after scene was amazing. Probably the best episode of Resurrection thus far, if you ask me. And it might even slot into my top 10 Dexter episodes of all time. But I'm just going to have to take some time to think about that. But what do you guys think of this episode? Let me know everything down below. I'm sorry that this, breakdown was late. I would have got it out earlier today. But yeah, I just had a lot of stuff going on. I think it's even surprising I got it out today because I'm still pretty ill. I think I still sound like shit, but let me know down below what you think. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later. Goodbye.